Hi everybody, I'm Ben Pearce and I'm part of the leadership team here at Microsoft Services. Now this video is aimed at people that are looking to apply for roles here at Microsoft. And what I want to go through is a little bit about what Microsoft Services is and then hear from some of the people that work here at Microsoft. Now Microsoft Services is the professional services department here at Microsoft, and particularly I work in the software development team, or the modern apps team as we like to call it. And so this video is about the different roles that we have in the software development or modern apps part of Microsoft Services. Now, as I said, Microsoft Services is the professional services part of Microsoft, and our goals really are firstly to help our customers transform their businesses using new solutions and new approaches. The second thing we're trying to do is really use the latest technologies, help our customers understand how to use the latest and the greatest technology. And the third thing we do is we work with customers on their existing solutions. We help them to improve and optimize and maintain the solutions that they've already got. So, in the rest of this video, we're going to hear from different people that work in this department. We're going to hear from an architect, a consultant, application development manager, project manager, premier field engineer, to name but a few, to give you a flavour of what it's like to work here at Microsoft.
Hi, my name is Anita Ramanan, and I'm an application development manager here at Microsoft. Before this, I was a student actually, so this is my first job. I joined as a grad 2 years ago. My degree was in physics and physical chemistry from UCL in London. My current role revolves around a mixture of technical delivery on both a broad range of technologies with a kind of deep specialization. My personal specialization is kind of Internet of Things, healthcare, and mobile applications such as cross-platform mobile. The job role also involves a lot of relationship management. So, for example, we have 12-month contracts, which we manage the relationship between that customer and the deliveries into that customer. But we're not expected personally to do all of those deliveries on all of those technologies. It's more of a group resource where, say, if one of my colleagues needed some IoT expertise, I would go and cross-deliver into their account. Whereas if if I needed some web technology experience, I could call them in to deliver in my account as well. We also have a pool of engineers with very kind of specific technology focuses who can also deliver into our accounts to give that kind of depth. My favorite bit about the role is how flexible it is. I get the choice of doing the technology that I love doing. I get to influence the way that customers develop and the way that they adopt our technologies and kind of bring almost a kind of, best practices, the art of the possible kind of a view into my customers, which otherwise they wouldn't get a lot of the time because, they're focused on keeping the lights running. That also is kind of the most challenging bit about the role though, because you do get an awful lot of things kind of thrown at you in quite quick succession. So you have to be, always ready to pick something up, just give it a go, try it out. But you also have to be that kind of point of expertise for the customer because you represent Microsoft. Why do I work at Microsoft? I work at Microsoft because I love the direction that we're going in. I think we're doing some really, really exciting things, some really impactful work that has the capacity to just change the world, and I want to be part of that ultimately. I want to change the world with the things that I do, and I think there's no better place to do it than here. My career aspirations, given that I've had a whole 2-year career so far, are not necessarily as developed as you might think, but ultimately, I want to make a difference, and I want to make a difference particularly in the healthcare space. I come from a healthcare background, so I would love to go out maybe to the US or to another country working for Microsoft and actually contribute to the healthcare platform that we're building out, because I think that we're in this fantastic position where we have the reach and the influence with customers that we can actually really make a difference in the world.
Hello friends, my name is Christos Matskas. I work for Microsoft. I'm an Azure developer, premier field engineer, and I will explain in a little bit what I do. Before I joined Microsoft, I used to be a consultant, a .NET developer. I played with a lot of technologies outside the .NET space as well, but I've always been, my core development was around the .NET technology stack. I worked as a consultant for a few years before I joined Microsoft, which opened the way, in fact, for me to join Microsoft. And now I work in the Azure development space, which means quite a few things, in fact. I work with customers to make the best out of our technologies, sometimes on the cloud, sometimes away from the cloud in their own data centers. And we do everything from security to performance to ALM, testing, and also using our Azure technologies to acquire the best out of the services and make the best out of the services. In my role, I do a lot of different things, so it's very exciting and it keeps things very interesting. And that's why I got attracted to this role, the freedom of choosing the projects and the technologies that you're going to be working with. It definitely keeps the role very exciting, and the amount of knowledge that you acquire as part of this role is very, very insane. In fact, there's so much out there to do. And this is probably one of the most challenging things in the role. You need to choose exactly what you're going to learn and what you want to focus on, only because we have such a massive versatility in our roles. But there's always something new to learn, and there's always something challenging that you come across. So it's a lot of playing around with new technologies and proof of concepts to make the best out of the technologies and help our customers acquire the appropriate technology skills to work with Azure. I work for Microsoft because it's probably one of the most exciting companies to work for. I get to do some really interesting projects and work with a lot of different people, a lot of different scales as well. So some of the companies we work are massive, some of them are fairly small. So helping all of them make the best out of Azure is probably one of the most exciting things. And Microsoft, as a culture, we know the company has changed massively in the last few years, so it's very good to be here, all about open source and how we help our customers. My career aspirations within the role are obviously to make the best out of my current role and learn as much as I can. But with Microsoft, the possibilities are endless. Only the sky is the limit. So I don't know where I'm going to be in the next year, to be honest, because there's so many possibilities out there. What I know for sure is that I'm going to be here and I'm going to be working hard with our customers to help them make the best out of our technologies. So thank you very much for listening.
Hi, my name is Duncan Millard, and I'm a solution development consultant here at MCS Microsoft Consulting Services. I've been working in development and consulting all my career, which is a little bit of a long time now. If I say that sort of my love for programming started with my Acorn Electron that I got for Christmas one year, that'll probably date me to one part of the audience, and the other part of the audience will be going on to Bing and saying, Acorn Electron, what's that? Yeah, okay. So I've always kind of liked programming and been a techie, and my first job, I started out just in a pure development role, albeit a slightly client-facing one. And that kind of, I found from that I quite enjoyed the consulting side of things. So my career kind of then followed more of a kind of a consultant, a technical consultant role, always kind of keeping my hands on the keyboard and being a developer. And then 8 or 9 years ago, that led me here to Microsoft, where I sort of became a solution development consultant, focusing on big lighthouse projects, as we called them, the sort of complex technologies or new technologies or complex projects that maybe Microsoft partners didn't want to attempt. So MCS would pick those up and do those. And really, the role has stayed the same in its principles over the last 8 or 9 years, in that we still address new technologies. So obviously we're very focused on Azure and cloud now. We're very focused on bringing that to our customers, helping them adopt cloud, helping them transform their business, and really sort of being involved on the forefront of all of this new wave of cloud technology that we're trying to bring to the market. The core challenges that we have are the same. I think we still have constantly to be on the crest of the wave of the latest technology. We have to be in a position to bring those to our customers. We have to be in a position to be able to apply these effectively and explain these and help them make sense to people who maybe haven't worked in these technologies before. We still work on the complex projects. It's quite fantastic, really. And I think that's probably the highlight, is the complexity, the constant change. You know, one week I might be working as a developer, hands-on, writing some Azure Data Factory pipelines. Another week I might be leading a dev team of 20 or 30 people and trying to make sure we're delivering on this kind of big 6-month plus engagement for some critical customer project. And I think that enjoyable. Complexity is also the most challenging part. You have to be very adaptable. You don't know whether you're going to be 1 week doing advice and guidance, 1 week working on a whiteboard on a completely brand new project where nobody really knows what's going on, or whether you're going to be brought in to try and solve some really horrible problems that your customer's having that are really, really hurting them and that you need to fix right now. I love working at Microsoft. I don't have to say that, they're filming me, right? But I do like working here. It's a really great environment. The people here are so good, they're so smart. You work with people who are inspired by technology, who love to learn, who love to improve, who always want to do the best and do the right thing. I know that sounds a bit like marketing spiel, but it's actually true, and I kind of see it every day in the people I talk to. In terms of where I want to go with my career, I mean, if you'd asked me 10 years ago, I wanted to work at Microsoft running dev teams, and I've been doing that for the last few years, and it's absolutely fantastic. So right now, I'm passionate about the technology, I'm passionate about learning, I'm passionate about improving our customers' business, and really I get to do that here. So I'm kind of really happy with the work I can do here, the work I do here, and the people I do it with. So if you're thinking of applying, give it a go. What have you got to lose? And you might actually enjoy it. I do.
Hi, my name is Paul Twidel. I'm a project manager here in the modern apps practice within Microsoft Services. I've been with Microsoft for 9 years now, and my journey to this role is pretty varied, I guess. I started off with a degree in applied psychology and computing way back when, then moved into development as part of a graduate program with another organisation. Moved from development into test lead because the test lead seemed to get a bigger view picture of what the solution was doing that we were building, and that for me was really interesting. Moved into several different lead roles with other organisations before finally joining Microsoft again as a lead consultant, so leading project teams. And that set me up really well for a natural transition into the project manager role, which I've been doing for the past 4 years. In my role, is all about leading and building teams to deliver projects for customers. Part of the project management role is obviously governance and risk management and project planning and all that good stuff. But for me, the really cool bit, the bit I enjoy the most, is that shaping up of projects, how we're going to deliver with the customer, building the team, putting the team together and leading that team, and really building a really efficient and effective team. Best bit about my role is those teams that we build are made up of really smart people, and they're people that want to do the best that they can for the customers that we're working with, and that's great. We have many times on projects where people will stop what we're doing and say, hang on guys, there's a better way to do this, let's change what we're doing. That mean we need to have to work some extra hours, but people are prepared to put that commitment in to make things right for the customer, and that passion and that pride in work is something that I really enjoy seeing around me and makes me do the best that I can in my role. Most challenging part about my role is balancing that desire from the customer and the team to do the best that they can to meet all of the customer requirements and actually delivering stuff on time and making stuff happen. And making sure that the team, as well as delivering against that project, are able to grow in their own career aspirations and keep their work-life balance. And once you get that, then you really get the high-performing teams. My career aspirations, what I go through from here, it's probably moving on from project management onto program management. So managing multiple projects within a program. I'm already getting the opportunity to do that in a small way on some of the programs I'm working with, and that's setting me up for doing that across wider scale programs. The other thing is probably moving into a more pursuit lead role, which is helping more with pre-sales. So as a project manager, you're already asked to be involved in pre-sales. As a pursuit lead, your focus is on pre-sales, it's bringing in new work, working with the sales team. So my role allows me to get experience in doing that and transition to that. So yeah, really enjoy the role, lots of opportunities to develop and a really supportive team around us. It's a great place to work.
Hi, I'm Guillermo from Microsoft UK. I'm an architect on the Modern Apps team. And what I did before joining Microsoft was working as a solution architect for many Microsoft partners for about 15 years. I work in United States, Argentina, Colombia, and many other places with really interesting projects. As an architect in Microsoft Services, we work on pre-sales and on the delivery part. When we work with pre-sales, we need to work with these challenging customers that are always pushing to get new technology, to get new requirements, to get actually new features that they need to use. On the technical side, we need to cope with these requirements. So it's really challenging for us to keep on the top of the technology to deliver these projects. We work making the architecture, we work making the delivery and following with the teams on risk management and the actual technology that we need to work. Probably this is the best thing about being in Microsoft. These customers with this technology at this point is really great to work if you want to be in a really challenging environment. Probably the most challenging part to be in Microsoft is when you join. This is a massive company that you need to actually understand on how to work in. But once you get your right network of people and teams to work with, it's amazing how fast and how much information you could get to get into this place that you get to get your project.